We are paid, that's all. We are God.
Hey guys! This is a Naruto x Zelda crossover. This is what if Naruto was the reincarnation of Link, hero of Twilight. Centuries ago, Link saved the world from Ganondorf. But now, Link's reincarnation will do the same task. Watch as he now struggles to become a hero guided by the Triforce. And of course, he has Midna by his side to help him. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe and check the author in the description. Let's start. Chapter 1. The Twilight Ninja. Do you really think that this will hold me? Spoke a dark and evil voice. You are sadly mistaken. He roars as a triangle on the man's dark hand glowed brightly, and he had freed himself from the chains that kept him bound. Grasping the sword which had pinned through his chest, he used it and eliminated one of the glowing beings, killing his target. However, their power binds him back, long enough for him to be banished through a portal. Fools! One day, I shall return. He screamed as the last trace of the evil man disappeared, and soon, was locked deep within his prison state. As the sages mourned for the loss of one of their own, they would know that the reincarnation would soon emerge, centuries from now, and he did. The hero picked up where his incarnated self left off, and fought against the evil king, until it led to a final showdown where the king was finally slain, and the world of the light and the twilight was saved from the evil demon. It was several centuries later after that battle for humanity's safety that the land once known as Hyrule had slowly disappeared, as demons rampaged through the land, destroying all. It was unknown as to what had happened, but if anyone knew of the history of the Hyrule genocide as it would be called, its mentioning in history was lost. The goddesses have slowly rebuilt the world, however the race known as Hylian no longer existed, and soon, another race of humans emerged and thus began the shinobi world. The goddesses all watched as the humans emerged, and advancements in technology slowly came forth. The force known as magic was slowly covered by another energy form called chakra, and soon other celestial beings were given form by the humans. The three goddesses still existed, but for so long, have they governed the planet's life, while these other beings of mystical properties ruled in their stead. The realm of Twilight still existed to this very day, however, the evil king, he was still alive however his soul sealed away into some sort of statue that was lost to this world. As long as he existed, so would the Twilight realm, and now, it leads to today. There is a human by the name Uzumaki Naruto, who have just successfully raided the Hokage Tower, and stolen what was a scroll. In fact, he had stolen 2 scrolls. The first one he had cracked open, and had learned a jutsu known as Kage Bunshin. The second scroll however, took a while to open, but when he did there was nothing inside. He never noticed a pool of darkness melting into his shadow. The bushes rustled, and he looked up to seeing Irika leaping into view. Naruto! What did you just do? He yelled. I learned a jutsu from the Forbidden Scroll. I also took this second one, but there was nothing inside. Mizuki-sensei told me that if I learned a jutsu from this scroll after infiltrating the Hokage Tower, I can then pass my test and become a ninja. Whatcha think, Naruto-kun? The boy and the man turned to their right, seeing Hyuga Hinata emerging from the bushes. Irika stared in disbelief, before the sound of a shuriken raced through the air, which was aiming for the Hyuga princess. The sounds of snarls were heard in this sewer-like tunnel of networks. However, the sounds did not affect one sassy little imp-like creature with fiery red hair in a ponytail. Her hair took life, and a bolt of lightning zaps the creature behind the cage. Quite you, Twilight Princess! I will devour you. I don't know how you came back into existence, but I will destroy you, and this meaty flesh bag. The Twilight Princess narrows her sunset-colored eyes. Oh, I do not think so. I know what you are, or what you used to be. You and the 8 other demon beasts came into existence after the fall of Ganondorf. I will take pleasure of ridding the strongest beast which had eradicated the land centuries ago. Puny cursed imp. The demon roars, trying to unleash yet another wave of Yukai, however the Twilight Princess sneers, and sends a blast of her shadow magic, striking Kyubi in the skull. I may have been reverted back into this form, however, I will find a way to break this curse as well, and regain my true form. While it was stunned, with the scroll which kept her sealed all these centuries, she sends a charge of energy through the bars and shocking the kitsune. Kyubi roars in rage, before all of its yokai was slowly being forced through the cage, spiraling into the scroll that Naruto earlier tonight had broken. She seals the scroll when the last of yokai, that evil foul magic, vanished into the scroll. All that was left was a smaller nine-tailed demon fox, however the blood reddish-orange fur was now chalk white, and it looked much weaker. It snarled weaky, wishing for her death. With a laugh, Midna sent another bolt of magic at it, killing the evil thing. It slowly disintegrated away, and all she was left is a scroll containing its power. For now, she places the scroll in the cage. She vanished, only to reappear next to the sleeping blonde. She was inside some sort of small apartment complex. She must have missed the whole ordeal with that scroll business, being too busy taking care of the fox that was locked behind a cage. She looks over the boy, finding him cute. Even if she had gotten rid of the evil beast, the blonde still has those whisker marks on the cheek. His hair looks like it's been kissed by the sun, she murmurs. She then looks over the boy's left hand. On it was the same mark she dreaded to see upon her release. It was the mark of the Triforce. You are Link's latest reincarnation, what is it with heroes being blondes? She then began to plot. It has been a very long time since she has last returned to her kingdom. When those 9 demons began ravaging the world, their power was enough to rip through time and space, once again linking the world of light with the world of shadow. How much has the planet changed? She would have to speak with the boy later. For now, it would be better if he got rest. However, she had a feeling that if this Naruto had the Triforce mark, who is the other two? In the Hyuga mansion slept a pale lavender-eyed girl with indigo-colored hair. On her left hand, she bore the same mark. Wake up! Naruto was smacked in the face, and that had woken him up. Mumbling, he had sat up, only to scream seeing a demon before him. Of course she had slammed her hand over his mouth with her hair. Shut up, do you want to wake everyone up? Who are you? Are you a demon? The imp scowled and slaps Naruto over the head with a fist. Hey! I said quiet. Now, to answer your question, no, I am not a demon. My name is Midna. I'm the Twilight Princess. Naruto stared at Midna, before snickering. You don't look like a princess to me. She glared with her sunset eyes. That's because centuries ago, a power that blanketed the world was enough to tear a hole into my kingdom in another realm. My kingdom have gotten involved with the 9 evil creatures that began to destroy the land, destroying many races across the world, Hylian, Zora, Gorin, and all other secondary races. My people and I suffered many deaths as well. However, while combating against a lesser evil beast, I was struck, and then I found myself cursed once again into this form, where I was soon sealed away. That scroll you opened finally released me after so long, but now I can definitely tell that the world has changed a lot. Do you remember who did this to you? No. All I remember is he looked like a Hylian, but he had a glowing red eye which was visible behind some sort of pumpkin-colored mask, clad in a buttoned black cloak with a high collar with spines arcing from the shoulders. Oh, so, what's this Hylian thing? Hylian, she corrected Naruto, and they're just like you, however take the shape of your ears, and stretch them back into they look like narrow triangles. So they're humans, but with pointed ears, basically, and now, you are going to help me. Naruto blinked. Wait, what are you talking about? Midna glared. Look at your left hand, see that mark? What? This. I had this mark on my hand ever since. That is the mark of the Triforce. Triforce? Naruto questioned. Midna sighed. It is a power that existed a long time ago. There are 3 triangles of each different power, yet equal in strength. The triangles each represent a specific trait. You see, the top triangle, she points at it on his hand, represents power. This triangle here on your left, she points at the next one, is wisdom. And the final one is courage. She points at the last one. I can tell you more, but later on. Oh crap. The academy. Midna watched as the blonde rushed from his bed to do several activities at once, which was funny to her. As Naruto rushed into the kitchen to prepare himself, ramen? What is ramen? She melted into his shadow. Naruto entered the restroom of the academy, and since he was by himself, she emerged, scaring him. Silence, you want someone to investigate? What are you doing here? Why are you following me? Well duh, since you have been marked by the Triforce, it's only simple that I follow you around. Besides, you have to help me. With what? In finding a way to break my curse so that I may emerge back into my true form. to return back to my princess form, oh, and think words in your mind. Like this. Ha! Oh, wait, by thinking thoughts you can hear me? Yes! Midna yelled in his mind, causing him to wince a bit at the volume. Okay, why are you all shadowy like? Only you can see me, since I bonded myself to you while I'm in this realm. But wait, back at my place you weren't like that. Naruto argued. That's because we were alone, and because I allow myself to be seen to the naked eye. It means that I cannot survive in the light world, your world. However, there is a way that you can grant me immunity in your world. All you have to do is willing grant me some of your light energy. Energy? Magic, she replies, your bit of life force can be separated, and infused into me. That will give me the immunity I seek. But not now, you have somewhere to go to, don't you? Then she disappeared back into his shadow. He was freaked out by it, but yes, he had somewhere to go. When he walked into the room, he could head the arguing between Haruno Sakura and Yamanaka Ino, on who would sit next to Uchiha Sasuke. Of course many noticed his appearance, as Sakura walked up to him. What are you doing here? This is for graduates only, she said. What do you call this? He taps the Hitayate on his forehead. He heard a faint mendokiss from Nara Shikamaru. I call you a thief, you baka. You stole that from someone. No, actually Sakura, I gave Naruto my Hitayate and got a new one, said Irika, walking up behind Naruto. Sit down in your usual seating arrangements. He never passed his exams yesterday. Mizuki is in prison for trying to turn traitor to the village, and Naruto got in his way, tried to kill him, but managed to stop him. Because of it, he was granted pass by the Hokage. That, and it was discovered half the academy teachers would not teach Naruto during the earlier years, which explains why half the senseis have been fired today. Naruto walked over and sat down next to Hinata. Midna gasped within Naruto's mind, grabbing the blonde's attention. Naruto! Look at that girl's hand who sits beside you. So what? She has the same mark as you do. Oh, Hinata. Yeah, she was born with that birthmark as well. It was somewhat of a mystery. You idiot. Did you forget? Midna yelled, that means this Hinata has also been marked by the Triforce. You see, Princess Zelda held the Triforce of Wisdom, and so she does as well, as you hold the Triforce of Courage, so, she's Princess Zelda's reincarnation. Before he could question the girl, if she classifies as a girl, he was called upon. Naruto, did you hear all of what I just said? Yeah, he replied. Heard all of what? Why do I have a feeling you didn't? Naruto's sweat dropped. Chapter 2. Sheesh, you are nothing like Link. Who's Link? He was your ancestor, Midna told Naruto. He too was marked by the Triforce, and his piece was courage. Okay, that may explain some things, but Midna, last night, when I had opened that scroll, I thought nothing was inside. So, how did you come into my being? Through your shadow, as I showed you earlier in that bathroom. I'm staying with you no matter what. But, what about the Kyuubi? It is apparently sealed inside of me, after what Mizuki told me last night before I beaten his ass up. Kyuubi's dead. What? He yelled, and got a few looks from some students, but laughed sheepishly. Sorry, thought I felt something on me. No one believed him, nor cared. One person was watching him, her fingers gently caressing the heirloom necklace that her mother gave to her before she had passed away. Quiet, you idiot blonde. I'm not an idiot. Just shut up and listen. Yes, that fox is dead. I used my magic to drain it of its own power into the same scroll you released me from, and then in its weakened condition killed the foul beast. It was responsible for destroying half of my kingdom of the Twilight realm anyway, so I got my revenge. Then why do I have these damn marks on my face? Because the power is still sealed inside of you, in the scroll I for now placed behind that cage within your subconscious. However, taking out that fox took a lot out of me. Besides, if I wasn't in this cursed form of an imp, I would have a lot more power, and trust me Naruto, I am much more beautiful in my true form. Naruto felt his cheeks begin to heat up a bit. So for now, I'm just going to take it easy and rest. Just for now, do what you usually do. And then she stayed quiet. However, her thoughts were on the necklace that the girl with the mark wore around her neck. It reminded her of the necklace that Princess Zelda wore. She's alive, well now. I guess I should send her a welcoming gift. As his hands blurred through a series of hand signs, a swirl of black smoke emerged around him, transforming his outfit into a black cloak that completely wrapped around his body, buttoned along the front. Now the collar that half surrounded him flared outward and he had spines lining down him. He took off his spiral orange mask, and put back up another mask of pumpkin tint. There was a silver mouthpiece that looked like a coiled tongue, and the left eye socket had a slant, revealing a glowing red glow behind the mask. For the other eye socket, it was a metal flame-shaped eyepiece with a black slit for the eye's pupil. He vanished. Team 7, Uchiha Sasuke, Haruno Sakura. Yes. No. And Uzumaki Naruto, he finished despite being interrupted. Now Sakura cried out, while Ino laughed at Sakura for having Naruto on her team. Your sensei is Hatake Kakashi. I feel sorry for them, now, teammate, Hyuga Hinata, Inazuka Kiba, and Aburame Shino. Your sensei is Yuhi Kurenai. Team 9 is in circulation still. Team 10, Nara Shikamaru, Yamanaka Ino, and Akimichi Chuji. Your sensei is Sarutobi Asuma. Now, Irika would have continued, but all of a sudden black little squares began to emerge from nowhere, and then all charge in a single point until a spiral formed, and left behind a cloaked and masked figure in front of the doorway. From the slit on the left side of the mask, a red glow is seen, as the figure craned his head, focusing on Naruto of all people. All of a sudden he appeared next to Naruto, and Naruto was sent flying from his seat, through the now shattered window, and falling painfully to the ground outside. The wall exploded as the unknown assailant broke through and lands on his feet. Naruto! Irika yelled, rushing to the hole in the wall. This was also attracting attention from ANBU, who were now coming to investigate, what the hell is going on here? Who is that? Naruto-kun, Hinata whispered in fear. Ichim. He spies the mark on the boy's left hand. I see, so, you are the one. The marked hero. Hero of the mark. What are you talking about? Naruto gasped, spitting up some blood. He coughed up more blood when he was sent slamming into a tree, which snapped at the trunk and fell back with a loud crash, breaking part of the stone fencing. The mark on your left hand, it is the symbol of a hero of a once-dead warrior of past time. He slowly brushed back his cloak, and lifted up a covered sleeve arm, with multiple tassels on the end, and Naruto grunted as he was lifted, actually picked up off the ground. He was then pulled towards the figure, and he suddenly grappled Naruto, pulling him into a submission. Poofs signaled the arrival of ANBU, the Hokage, and the various jounin for today's genin teams. Naruto, reincarnated hero. I highly doubt you can win, you are but a child still. Blood dribbled from Naruto's mouth, as he bends Naruto back more, causing pain to shoot through the boy's body. I have no doubt she already told you about who I am. ANBU took this time to launch kunai, hoping to hit the blonde purposely, but an aura sprung up and shielded the figure. The few ANBU who attacked had dropped to the ground, the kunai lodged into a portion of their body that would cause nothing more than a lot of pain. He let go of Naruto, but he was still levitating in midair, suspended by the figure's magic. He cried out as a vivid aura sprung around him, as something was ripped right out from the boy. The aura vanished, allowing Naruto to collapse to the grass. The figure now held a scroll in his hand, which was leaking forth a familiar energy. The Kyuubi's chakra. Naruto was levitated up again, and pulled to him, as the tongue folded back, and opened, revealing pale blue lips and white skin. You are no hero. I will destroy you, hero of the marked, and those marked as well. A red glow formed, before it slams into Naruto. Naruto was launched, where he flailed against the grass, and lands next to Kakashi's feet. He however was unconscious by the time his body stopped. The ANBU attacked again, but once again, their kunai were deflected by a black aura. So much for your power. Oh no, Sarutobi whispered, catching Kakashi's attention, who was holding Naruto up. That scroll. I feel it as well. Somehow, this man, if he is a man, extracted the demon. The scroll's seal that it held, it was the same paper seal that was on the cage within Naruto's mind. He took a fingernail, and peels it off, slowly flooding the village with the Kyuubi's energy until he seals it back again. The tongue mask reformed over the mouth, and taking one last glance at Naruto, vanished, taking the stolen power with him. Sarutobi kneeled down next to Naruto, and he and Kakashi watched as the whisker marks on Naruto's face slowly vanished, leaving unblemished skin. Naruto! Naruto! Wake up, Naruto! Midna yelled, however he did not respond. Please, wake up, she called out, growing more weaker, and weaker, until she too was rendered unconscious. It has been a full week since that mysterious attack on Naruto, and he was still unconscious. Sarutobi kept his most trusted to watch Naruto, because the entire village have felt the Kyuubi's chakra leaking from that scroll that materialized out of Naruto's body, via tiny black squares that had tiny squared lines of red. This figure infiltrated the village somehow, appeared in Iruka's classroom, and in split seconds broke several of Naruto's ribs, broke his right arm, caused a bit of damage to his back. However, he was healing rapidly, which apparently was a lingering effect from the Kyuubi, something which has happened in the past with Naruto's fast healings. However, this time it was different. An unknown assailant attacked Naruto, virtually extracted the fox from Naruto through the seal which no longer exists, and now, the strongest demon in the world was now in the hands of this unknown enemy. Why the hell did his pipe have to break that morning? Whenever his pipe breaks, it meant that something bad would occur, and something bad did occur. He needed Jiraiya. Sarutobi entered the room, and saw that Naruto was looking out the window. He's awake. That's good. Just a week ago he had learned about his burden of having to hold the strongest demon in existence, but now, in just one day of finding out the village secret, the demon was taken out of his body, and he was still alive with the side effect of rapid healing. Tests were done, and his chakra levels were still freakishly high, among other health concerns which there were none, except he nearly died from those crushing blows. I mean, how a human body, much less a child, can survive after his body was sent crashing into a tree, which snapped from the force of impact. Naruto looked over. This was now another change. Naruto seemed a bit more calmer. He still has those bright cerulean eyes, and that smile came to his face. Hi, Ojaizen. Still the same Naruto, only after that attack, he's somewhat changed. Naruto, it's been a week. Really? What happened? The demon fox, do you remember the discussion? Naruto nodded. That was good. Well, it's gone now. I know. Sarutobi, I know what happened. I felt it, being ripped out of my body. Who was that person who attacked me? I have no clue. We sent our most experienced ninja, but we could not find that person. He just suddenly disappeared. Okay, so what happened now? Sarutobi sighed. The council demanded an emergency meeting, because the entire village felt that wave of chakra coming from that scroll which held the demon fox sealed within. They wanted answers to what had happened, and I had told them that your seal was gone, your whisker marks vanished. Vanished? Sarutobi handed Naruto a mirror, and he looked at his face. He no longer held that light blemish of whisker marks. Anyway, I told them that some unknown cloaked being had attacked you, and had extracted the demon fox from your body, without it somehow triggering the seals that would have killed you and the fox if someone was to forcibly extract it, but that never happened. The council voted to have Yamanaka Inoichi to use his jutsu to take a look into your mind. Inozotusen. Sarutobi nodded. Inoichi confirmed that the fox was no longer behind the seal, as if the seal had never existed in the first place. So, Naruto, things are going to be very much different. You see, the fourth did wish for you to be seen as a hero, for holding back the most dangerous demon ever, but now that the demon is no longer in you, but instead stolen right from your body through some unknown jutsu technique, I revoked the law that protected you when you were little. You have a lot of friends, Naruto. Your classmates were surprised at first, but many of them accept it, because if you could hold back a dangerous demon from causing any more chaos and bloodshed, then you were definitely a hero, like the fourth Hokage wished of you to be. There was a knock on the door. Sarutobi got up, and opened it. Ho Hokage-sama, am I interrupting as something? No, not at all, Hinata-san. In fact, Naruto woke up. You can talk to him if you wish. I am going to contact the doctor I appointed to be Naruto's physician. Sarutobi stepped out, and closed the door behind him, as Naruto looked to Hinata. So, you don't think I'm evil? No. At first many thought why you were because you held that demon F-Fox, but you were not. It took some reasoning, but why you don't have tea to worry about being hated anymore. Hinata, all my life I grew up alone, with no friends. Hinata blushed a bit. Can I be your friend? Naruto smiled softly. Hinata saw the smiles from Naruto for such a long time, but she could remember that they were just fake masks. This smile, however, it was a genuine smile. I would like that. Naruto-kun. Hinata, can I see your hand? She blushed, as he grabbed it, and looked at the birthmark she had. That is just a birthmark I was born with. Hinata, that is no birthmark, this just proved my theory. Do you remember that guy who attacked me? She nodded. You're just like me, marked by the Triforce. What do you mean? Naruto lifted his hand, revealing his mark as well. The man talked about the mark of the hero, you see, Irika, when he said that Mizuki tried to turn traitor to the village. It's a lie. He tricked me into stealing the forbidden scroll of sealing from the Hokage Tower, which I flawlessly got in, and left without being discovered until a minute after my escape. Mizuki was hoping to frame me for stealing this scroll, and before I got that fox ripped out of my body painfully, wanted to murder me. But you were there, that is the whole truth. Naruto-kun. Naruto frowned. I have the Triforce of Courage, which would explain my sudden maturity, and you would hold the Triforce of Wisdom, making you the reincarnation of your ancestor Princess Zelda. My ancestor is a hero named Link. How do you know all of this? She asked, in her meek voice. She was still somewhat shy, something she was going to work on, so that she could better be a close friend to Naruto. Midna told me. Who's Midna? Midna was around a long time ago. She is actually called the Twilight Princess. However, that man you saw a week ago, that was the same man who attacked her when the 9 demon beasts were destroying the world. He casted a spell on her, and cursed her into becoming an imp again. It wasn't the first time she was under this curse, however this curse is different. As to break it, that masked cloak dude has to be defeated. Naruto's shadow twisted, until something pulls away, and floating there was Midna. As Naruto said, she looked like an imp. She did have characteristics that defined her of the female figure. Her eyes looked like glowing sunsets, and her hair was tied into a ponytail, and was almost like flames. Naruto, when he was struck by that energy, somehow, he tapped into his own life force, and saved me when he was out cold. However, it now links me to him, but I now have the ability to be out in the open. Hello Hinata. I am Midna, by the way. Keikanichi wa. She blinked. It means hello. Oh, hello then. Naruto. Naruto is marked to be the next hero. That man he fought was one of my kind. He is of Twilight. Now that I saw the way he teleported into the room, he was also the same man who cursed me this way. The last person who was evil and held such intentions was a bastard was known as Zant, but he was killed. Now, someone took Zant's place. Naruto looked to Midna. Midna. I may not know much, but if it makes you feel better, I can certainly help you. Like I said earlier, you are going to help me. However, first, you must learn to use a sword, because your ancestor, Link, defeated many an evil with the use of the blade. That is until I could figure out a way to find the Master Sword again. Master Sword? It is a sword that defeats the bane of evil. It will be a highly effective weapon that can break through that evil bastard's defenses, but this world, I just know, is so much different from the land I once knew. Hyrule. Naruto, first off, I need to see a map of the world, if you people do have one. Oh, hold on. Hinata left the room, and soon returned 2 minutes later with one, and spreads it out on the nearby table. Midna, with her great memory, memorized the entire map. She rolls it up, and holds it close to her. I'll keep this for now. The door opened, and Midna had instantly vanished back to Naruto's shadow. It was Sarutobi and Naruto's appointed doctor. Hinata, you can wait outside. Once Naruto gets checked out, he can head to the academy with you. It's time that we finally get the genin teams assigned to their jounin senseis. Hi, Hokage-sama. She bowed to the old man and left the room. While the doctor was granting many tests, Midna hid under the bed when no one looked. She then vanished quietly. She had gotten a closer look at the other map, specifically Hai no Kuni. She decided to wait at Naruto's apartment. So, that is all I have to do. Hope within my heart to infuse a portion of my energy into you, and allow you immunity in my world. Yes, Naruto, now concentrate. He did so. He closed his eyes, sitting cross-legged on the floor of his small apartment. Before long, a small teardrop-shaped sphere of light emerged from Naruto, and shot into Midna. She grunted a bit as the light coursed through her, before it faded. She emerged fully from Naruto's shadow, and did not feel anything, that poisoned feeling of shadow within the light. She looked to Naruto, glad that he pulled it off, but he was out cold. She sighed, and carried him towards his bed and tucked him away. Well, you did it, but now we're linked. But now I wonder how I will be able to get back to my kingdom. How much has changed over the centuries. She clenched her fists. She still remembered that mask, that glowing red light behind the slit of an eye, the evil laugh before she was sealed away, cursed into this form one again. Just thinking of that brought another memory to her. Link. A tear escaped. She remembered Link so well, how he did everything he could to save her when Zant had dragged her into the light world, leaving her to die. how he did not give up until she was saved. "I miss you, Link." She not only missed the hero from Orden, but was in love with him, but she would never be able to tell him those 3 words, because she cowered out at the last second before shattering the mirror of Twilight. However, she looked towards Naruto, who was sleeping peaceful despite pulling off a bit of his own life force to infuse into her. She reached up to pull off her helmet, but then remembered that the fused shadow had been destroyed by Ganondorf centuries ago. 1 month later. Team 7, consisting of Kakashi, leading Genin Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke, were led form the village on a mission to Wave, escorting a drunken bridge builder. There was a bit of tension in this team, and between many others, but there were still the few people who did accept him. Sakura, however, is still a hard-ass when someone taunts or mocks Sasuke. It was as if things were normal, just that it was now known Naruto was once a Jinchuriki of the greatest demon sealed away by the Yondaime, the 4th Hokage. Sasuke gave him only a tiny shred of respect, but is still an emo. And so far, only 2 people know of Midna's existence, himself and Hinata. Anyway, they still went on the mission, but now they had requested backup by Team 8. As they traveled an alternative route to get to their destination, Naruto suddenly stopped. Hinata stopped as well, as she was walking next to the boy. Kakashi looked back, and the rest had halted in their tracks as well. Naruto, however, ignored everyone else, as he started going into the forest. Naruto-kun, wait. Hinata gave chase. Kurenai followed as well. Kakashi sighed and also gave chase. As Naruto traveled deeper and deeper into this forest, it seemed to get darker and darker. He soon made it past a clearing, and in this clearing, the top of the trees was still very much visible, and there seemed to be an unnatural fog crawling along the damp grass. Naruto walked up to the center, where there was a half-broken pedestal, and stuck in it was a broken blade piece. He heard Midna gasp, and materialize beside Naruto. Only Hinata was the other person who saw the Twilight Princess. "Naruto, that's the Master Sword, but it's broke." "Master Sword." Naruto walked up to the broken ledge, and grabbing the blade, he winced as he drew blood from the blade's sharp double-edged sides as he pulled it out. The mist seemed to clear, and an unnatural breeze blew through. However, the darkness seemed to fade just briefly. "Take the sword, find the other half, and bring forth the sword that destroys evil." "Midna, you heard that?" "Yeah." "Did you just hear that voice?" Kakashi looked around. "No. I heard nothing, Naruto. I heard it in that wind that just blew by." "It was just your imagination, Naruto. But Naruto, why would you take that blade? A broken one at that?" "It felt important to me." He shrugs. "Whatever, Naruto. Hand it to me, I'll seal it away in a scroll for you." He hands the piece to Kakashi, who inspected it for a moment. He never seen such intricate designs on the blade before, but he sealed it away anyway. However, Kakashi would be thinking more about that blade's artistic designs that laminate the blade's surface later on in the mission. "Let's get going. Naruto. I never would have thought the Master Sword, one wielded by your ancestor, can be broken. You have to find the other piece." Chapter 3. Naruto walked into a weapons store. There was a bit of a change around the village, but Naruto would still have people wishing his death because they just can't let go of the past. He had just become the last Genin team with Sasuke and Sakura to have passed and become official, the other 2 teams being teams 8 and 10. All other teams had failed, in one case horribly. Of course, he had always questioned why each Genin team always has 2 males and a female. With Midna's sharp wit and personality, she thought up out of the clouds that maybe the 2 guys could gangbang the girl. And would you believe, Naruto breaking into a bit of a nosebleed. Naruto looked around at the various weapons left and right and even looked at several pedestals containing relics. One such relic caught Midna's attention, which looked like some sort of Metal Gear-like top, large enough for a grown adult in his late teens or so to stand on top of the odd-looking device. "Hello, may I help you?" Naruto had jumped and turned around, seeing a middle-aged bailing man with grayish-black hair, and a short beard, wearing the overalls and a heavy fabric apron. He held in his hand a sledgehammer, which he was using to fashion yet another weapon in the back. He also wore goggles so it hid his cerulean blue eyes. "I was just looking around, when I noticed you had this weird thing." Midna face-palmed. "Ah, that, well, around the time of the Shodai, it was rumored this was found on an old well which had been covered over. Its location was where the Hyuga lot now resides today." "Oh, really?" Naruto inquired. "Yes, anyway, when I had come to this village as a young lad, I found this in the dumpster when Sarutobi became Hokage. I kept it ever since. I never knew what it was, or what it was used for, but I felt that it must have been something worth keeping. Naruto nodded, looking back at the odd gear-looking device. If you need anything, just ring the bell. My granddaughter would be home soon from her mission with her team. With that, the old worksmith returned to the back. Midna emerged before Naruto, and looked over at the device. I never thought I'd see this again, she whispered. What is it, Midna? Naruto whispered back. This is the spinner. This is very ancient. This was found in Arbiter's grounds when Link was still alive. Naruto, go see how much that is. The door opened and the bells jingled, prompting Midna to vanish again, as Naruto turned to the door. It was a girl wearing a pink shirt, dark pants, and had her dark hair wrapped in twin buns. Ten blinked, recognizing that voice. Naruto? What are you doing here? Browsing. What are you doing here? I live here with Tenku Ojizen. Both teenagers blinked. That's somewhat awkward, Midna adds her 2 cents. Only Naruto heard her reply. Ten. I'm home, Grandpa. The man now identified as Tenku, steps into the front shop. How was your mission? It was a bust, but we completed it anyway. What was supposed to be a C-rank mission turned out to be an A-rank mission, because our client lied about the situation in AIM. I see. I hope you're alright, Ten scoffed. I'm fine, Grandpa, don't worry about me. Excuse me, Naruto interrupted, but, how much is that device there? He points to the spinner. You really wish to buy that thing? I can only see it as being like an heirloom or something. Naruto nodded, causing Ten to question why Naruto would buy a hunk of junk. Well, if you are sure, I'll give it to you for 300 Ryo, Tenku tells Naruto. Naruto takes out his frog wallet. Midna still thinks Naruto should buy a more manlier wallet, and hands over 3 100 bills. At his questioning look, Naruto simply replies that he saves up on a lot of money. Naruto takes the device off the pedestal, as Tenku packed the 3 bills in the register. Naruto obtains the relic spinner. This device has existed for an untold number of years. It has even withstood the test of time, though it looks a bit too old for any use. Thanks Gigi, Naruto bids as he left the store. He then returned. Oh, you do craft work, right? I need something done. He sets the thing at the entrance, and takes out a piece of ripped scroll paper, and hands it over to Tenku, who takes a look at it. Can you complete it? Well, the materials won't be hard to find, and I have done something similar. I know the right type of material I can use to fashion this helmet, but why? Oh, well, it's for a friend, he said blushing a bit. Tenku chuckled softly. Alright, I will send my daughter to let you know when I finish this project, okay? Sure. He left, carrying the spinner to his home. So, that is Naruto, huh? Ten nodded. I never had any problem with him being a Jinchuriki, not after what had happened a week and a day ago, if only his father was still around. Ten turned to her grandfather. Naruto has family? Yes, I knew his mother, but she died giving birth to him. As for his father, it was something that Naruto would only know until he makes the rank of Jounin. But, why is that? Because before Naruto's father died, he made Hokage-sama promise to only reveal his heritage until he made Jounin status, or until he turns 18. All I can tell you is that he was one of the countless victims in the Kyuubi attack, although one of the most brave souls who would not quit until his last breath. That was then, and this is now. The ladies, with Akamaru, Shino due to most of his bugs hating water, Kakashi, and Tazuna were sitting in the boat with the driver, while Sasuke, Naruto, and Kiba were quietly paddling their feet while pushing the boat, sneaking past watchmen during this heavy fog blanketing a portion of the water's surface. Midna was there as well, but she was watching through Naruto's eyes. If Naruto was Link's ancestor, then he must be a hottie when he's older, around Link's age. She blushed a bit, thinking about it. They soon made it to the edge, where everyone climbed on shore, and the boat disappeared back into the fog again. It was a boring trek across the landscape of Nami no Kuni, however, they were able to see the half-completed bridge, which Tazuna spoke about. Naruto! Look out! Suddenly a large heavy blade was flung from the bushes, aiming for Naruto. Kakashi yelled at Naruto to move out of the way. Naruto did something else entirely. He bends back at such an angle that everyone else wondered how flexible he was. The blade impacts a tree, sinking halfway into it, and appearing on the blade's surface was Momoichi Zabuza, Kakashi stated. Well, the famous Kapinin, Hitaki Kakashi. You're flexible kid. Naruto stood straight again, but now he was standing between Hinata and Sakura, kunai drawn. If you just hand over the bridge builder, I'll let you all live. In your dreams, Naruto yells. Everyone, back away now and protect Tazuna, Kurenai ordered, as she and Kakashi take their positions, armed and ready while Kakashi lifts his Hitayate up. So, using the Sharingan from the get-go, Kakashi, Sharingan. What the hell? Sasuke thought in shock. Since you're here anyway, it meant that the demon brothers failed and are either dead, or having committed suicide with the pills under their tongue. He leaps off, and rips off the blade, and holds it in a stance. Slowly a heavy mist began to form, and Zabuza vanished. Several swirls echoed, and Naruto suddenly saw a Mizu Bunshin of Zabuza pop up. He reacted quick enough, stabbing it and causing the Bunshin to dissolve into water. Katan, Gakakyu no Jutsu, Grand Fireball. Kakashi released a giant fireball, and destroyed a Mizu Bunshin. Kakashi and Kurenai battled against Zabuza, showing the genin how seasonal ninja fought. They didn't have to get involved in the fight at all. Now, if Naruto still had the fox in him, things would have been different, but with Kurenai, Kakashi was able to make work of Zabuza, though at the end of the long-winded fight, Kakashi passed out from using too much of his chakra and the prolonged use of his Sharingan, and Kurenai was unable to stop a masked person stealing Zabuza's injured body. Naruto was in the town, looking around. It has been a day since the incident with Zabuza, however Kakashi was recovering but all he could do was hopefully teach the genin how to climb trees with chakra usage, while Kurenai was helping them train better by having friendly spars. He met the brat Inari, and Tazuna's daughter, Tsunami. He was with Sakura and Tazuna, who the man wanted to go buy some sake. Naruto stopped at a clothing store, and Sakura stood next to him. What are you looking at, Naruto? Hurry up you kids, Tazuna yelled. Naruto, see those clothes in green, you should buy them. What? Why? And how come it couldn't come in orange? Naruto, your ancestor wore those same types of clothes centuries ago. The hero marked by the Triforce would wear the clothes of his ancestor. By goddesses, by the damn tunic. I don't care how much it costs. Naruto. Sakura walked into the store after Naruto, who went up to the counter. I'll buy that outfit you have displayed up front. The shopkeeper was stunned. But sir, that costs 3,000 ryo. I had that for as long as I could remember. It's been passed down in my family for generations. Besides, I doubt you even have that kind of money. Naruto took out 5,000 ryo from his wallet, which now felt much thinner. Keep the change. The shopkeeper, and Sakura, was immensely stunned at Naruto paying 2,000 ryo extra for the green tunic outfit. The hero's clothes, Twilight princess form, but smaller to fit Naruto, as Midna told Naruto, as the shopkeeper gave the clothes to Naruto, who asked if there was a place he could change. 5 minutes later, Naruto stepped out. He still wore the black t-shirt, but Midna thought he should change the black for white. Either way, she was impressed. Now he does look much like Link, only the blonde hair was sun-kissed, not a darkened blonde. Thank you very much. It's no problem, Naruto replied, as he left, with Sakura following Naruto. The boy still wore his Hitayate, however, the tunic, she knew that Naruto looked very much different without that blinding orange on him. Your ancestor, Link, may never know much about the ninja tactic that you do, though it reminds me of the Sheikah race, an ancient clan of ninja-like warriors. Ninja existed in the far past. Not that I know of, but long ago, when I was traveling with Link, we stumbled upon this hidden village which was overrun by goblins that King Bulblin commanded. Link took care of all of them, before we met this woman named Impaz. She told us that she was named after the ancient warrior years before Link's time, but she was unsure of it herself. We believed she was a descendant. Now, before, if things had gone without any interruptions, Naruto would have been with Sasuke still learning how to tree climb with chakra, and Kurenai and her genin team would still be in Konoha, but after all that happened, he was at the bridge, with Sakura. Of course, she was the one doing the guarding, he had helped with whatever could be done, he even found a pair of fingerless brown leather gloves to wear. Oh yeah, and it was 3 days later since buying the tunic outfit. Okay, that's enough work, time for dinner guys, Tazuna ordered. The other workers all stopped what they were doing and all of them left for the evening. Naruto and Sakura followed Tazuna as they all headed back to his place to rest for the night. Naruto fell asleep late, because he had a discussion with Midna about something important, mainly about what she had done in the past. Ever since the Kyuubi was lifted from him, even if it was stolen by forced extraction, Naruto was able to mature more. And with the Triforce of courage, let's say he's a lot braver than he used to be, although braving the risks of Anbu chasing him throughout the village when he was little was something else entirely. Of course beforehand, Naruto had an argument with the bratty punk Inari, about them just going to die from Gatu's thugs, that Naruto just smacked Inari across the face much to his friend's shock, and Midna's, and told Inari his life in detail, even telling him that he once held a most dangerous demon sealed inside of him which was the cause of his misery most of his young life until a strange being ripped the fox's energies right out of his body. With him storming through the woods in a huff, he had met her. Her name was Haku, and she and Naruto had briefly made friends, though Midna felt something odd from the gender-confusing girl when Naruto, much calmer, returned back to Tazuna's place 2 hours later. Naruto just never knew the dangers that would await him tomorrow at the bridge, or that someone was planning on using a female ice user to his advantage. A/N now, again it seems rushed, but I have seen and read just about every single possible scenario of Wave Arc, but the next chapter features more Twilight. Here's a hint, Snow Peak, Chapter 4. A/N, minor note, Haku is female in this story. Naruto. There was something going on downstairs. Naruto. Wake up you idiot. She smacked him with a fist down over the head, which woke him up. Naruto, someone's attacking the house. Naruto cursed, when he heard Tsunami's screams, and Inari's cry. He had gotten up, glad he decided to wear the tunic to bed last night, and rushed downstairs. He pried some kunai from his pocket and launched them, sticking the hands of the 3 thugs. Naruto leapt over and lashes out with a right kick sending one guy crashing through the window. The other 2 Ronin charged but Naruto ducked and sent kunai striking their balls. He grabbed the katana and lashed out, slashing them across the chest. Through the pain, they ran off frightened. Naruto, look what the kid is holding. Naruto looked to Inari, who had dropped the other half of the broken master sword. Inari, where did you get that broken sword? My father had this, and he gave it to me, before. Naruto nodded. Look, it was brave of you to defend your mother. She means much to you, right? He nods. Well, if you gather your courage, then you can overcome your fears and defeat the tyranny that is Gatu. The entire village can, but only if you overcome your fears. He grabs the weapon. I have been looking for this for a while. You see, I have the other half of this sword, and I really wish to take this, so that I can get both halves mended again, and back in perfect condition. Take it. Inari smiled softly. You're right. I need to stand up for myself. Naruto grinned, and rushed out the house, and headed towards the bridge. God, I hope I'm not too late, damn my oversleeping tendencies. Meanwhile, there was a fight going on. Once again, Kakashi and Kurenai were taking care of Zabuza, but Sasuke was trapped behind ice mirrors, fighting against Haku who was well pissing him off, even with his Sharingan having been activated. And to make things worse, Naruto, who still held the katana, had arrived just in time to save Hinata from getting struck by a Mizu Bunshin. Naruto then spun around when the rest surrounded the blonde, and had released a short wave of energy from the spinning attack. Hinata, you okay? I'm fine, Naruto-kun. But Sasuke-san is trapped behind those slabs of ice. Naruto nodded. I'll take care of it, just keep Tazuna-san safe. Naruto ran towards the ice prison, and he lashed out with a hard lunge, cracking one ice mirror. He shattered it with a hard punch, wincing at the pain, before rushing in. As he did however he too became trapped. Naruto. You idiot. You're trapped. She can melt in her ice mirrors like water. Shut up, I'm here to save your ass, besides you about to look like a pin cushion. Sasuke growled. Shut up, now help me beat this punk. Naruto held the katana in reverse position, the blade's tip pointing in an upward slant along his right arm. Got any ideas? The mirrors are indestructible from inside. The 2 dodged the wave of Senbon released. Stop moving. The Oinin from Mizu smiled sadly behind the mask, but she had a job to do. She launched a Senbon from her position, and Sasuke saw this, and pushed Naruto out of the way, taking the hit. It struck a pressure point, and it had appeared to have killed him. He was simply knocked out cold. Sorry, but I have no choice. Naruto looked up, and frowned. Why? Haku removed her mask, revealing her dark brown eyes. I heard your voice and knew who you were. Why? Because Zabuza-sama saved me from death. He took care of me, so I will take care of him. Please, Don't make this hard for me. Naruto simply held the weapon up again. No. If you work for the enemy, then, we are enemies. She smiled sadly, but this time she drops the mask, preparing her Senbon again. Then. I have no choice. She launches them, but Naruto swings in a wide arc, sending the same energy wave out, deflecting them to the ground. She melted into a mirror, only to pop up behind Naruto, but he swung when Midna warned him, and she was caught along the side of her left hip. She dodged the second sword strike, until they heard Zabuza's cries, and the sound of dogs growling. Kakashi had trapped him, as did Kurenai with her illusions, and then, the sound of birds chirp. Zabuza-sama! Chidori! Kakashi was rushing Zabuza with the jutsu. Haku dissolved her mirrors, and surprised Naruto by claiming his lips roughly. Goodbye. She vanished, and took the hit of Kakashi's attack. Haku! Naruto screamed, no! Haku, Zabuza whispered in shock. Haku only smiled before life left her eyes. Kakashi was stunned, as was Kurenai. Haku had sacrificed her life, just to save Zabuza. Naruto had run to Haku as Kakashi pulled his now bloodied hand from Haku's back, which left behind a hole that had obliterated her heart. No! Haku! He was cradling her body, not caring that her blood was staining his tunic. She kissed me. Naruto! Midna did not know what to say. The dogs and illusion vanished, allowing Zabuza to flip back to his feet again. Then, the sound of a single applause filled the air, as coming from the fading mist was Gato. Behind him, were armed ronin with swords or bow and arrows. Kakashi glared, as Gato sneers at them all. Well, one annoyance down, one more to go. I never thought my plan would even work, then again, I had a feeling you couldn't live up to your expectations. What do you mean, Gato? I mean, I never intended to pay you at all, after all, it's a waste, and you'll all be dead anyway, he sneers. Naruto released an angry growl from his throat, as he gently laid Haku down to the ground, and stood up. You son of a... Zabuza brought his arm, blocking Naruto. No, this scum is mine. Zabuza snarls. Because of this man, he had lost Haku inadvertently. He would pay. With a roar, he charges them and attacks. They fired arrows, however Zabuza had shown them just why he was known as the Demon of the Bloody Mist. Naruto stood next to Sasuke, who was still unconscious due to having several pressure points nailed by the Senbon. Sakura was cradling the boy close as if he was dead. Hinata stood by Naruto, Shino and Kiba protecting Tazuna, and Kurenai Shunshin next to Kakashi. Gato was slain down, but Zabuza collapsed next to Haku, showing the battle damage, and from several arrows piercing his chest. Haku! I'm sorry. Snow began to fall. He mused to himself, Haku's tears. Haku! I love you, my precious. Zabuza died. It was over, the men were surrounded by the surviving ninja, and behind them, was the townspeople who had gathered their courage, strength, and whatever weapon they could find. The thugs were between a rock and a hard place. No one however in all of the chaos, noticed a parasite working its way embedding itself into Haku until it was too late once the shell was formed fully. A cold blast of wind suddenly surged around Haku, lifting her body as her outfit fell, revealing her creamy skin, which was blemished with the blood that came from the hole that was directly over her heart. Kakashi and Naruto caught notice of what looked like some sort of giant bug resting within a dark brown cocoon, completely filling the spot. It was a bit big, so it looked like she had a brown orb embedded inside her body. Her hair flew in all directions before changing to pure white and then spike in wild fang directions, Yami Bakura style. Her creamy skin turned pure white, with a touch tone of an icy blue tint, and when she opened her eyes, they had changed to reveal cold pale pink eyes, with the whites of her eyes a cold ocean blue. A loud inhuman shriek escaped her throat, as water shot up and wraps around her, before hardening into an icy armored outfit, resembling in Midna's mind a humanoid form of that dragon she and Link encountered in the city in the sky. Soon, a clear blue crystal of ice complete collected around her, forming a giant rupee with two giant clawed hands made of ice which float on either side of the giant rupee. The ice hands, think Omega's hands from Rockman 03, shoots and rips through Gata's terrified men, leaving none alive. She then turned her attention onto Naruto. Twilight Korikaken, Taketsu no Haku. Kyuso! Naruto swore. Grab that giant sword, Naruto. I have seen this tactic before, you need something heavy to shatter the ice. Naruto rushed over, and with a grunt, slowly picked up the sword. The dead Haku, transformed and warped under a dark magical force, charged him, flying through the air. Kakashi intercepted Haku, but the Jounin was sent flying back, now stuck to the ground encased half in ice. It turned to the others, sending blasts of liquid water. The others were also ensnared in the water that had quickly solidified into ice. Once again, the hands flew out, and this time they had captured Naruto. Naruto had managed a grip on Zabuza's weapon, but struggled to get free. Her eyes shined an unholy light as she slowly levitated away from the bridge, and deposits him onto a large floating island made of clear ice. Her ice mirrors reformed once again, this time encasing a roof. They were clear for everyone else to see, but inside, Naruto only saw reflections of himself and the transformed Haku. She released an inhuman cry as she launched several spurts of the liquid ice from the palms of those wicked-looking floating hands. Naruto was ensnared in the substance, trapped in the hardened ice. Naruto struggled to get free, but was freed when he was punched into one of the cold mirrors. He cries out in pain, as Midna yelled at him to get up. The ice was slippery enough for him to get good movement, even with this heavy weapon. When the hands were shot at him again, he swung as best he could. He only managed to deflect the attack. Damn! She cried again, this time her rupee shell glowed and releasing a wave of spiked ice with glowing red spheres for a single eye. Naruto dodged them on Midna's order, as she told them that one touch of those icy creatures would freeze him momentarily. The claws were thrown at him again, but Naruto roared as he swung as hard as he could, as best he could, and deflected them away. The left claw struck the shell, causing a loud sound of a crack to echo within the icy chamber. A crack formed over the surface. Seeing this, Naruto slowly had gotten used to the somewhat unpredictable patterns of attack from the transformed Haku. He launched 3 kunai, however the claws fired water, encasing them in ice. Naruto cursed and hid behind the sword as the claws clanged against them. He leapt up when a wave of those icy creatures swept across the field, shattering upon wall collision. The hands widened their grasping range, before a blue glow slowly formed. Then, spiraling rings of ice were fired. Naruto was dashing as best he could on this slippery surface, dodging the icy ring attacks. Of course, while one fires in a horizontal direction, the other was firing vertically downward tracking him. The hands slowly returned to the ice shell, and another scream emerged, as the hands charged him, sending him crashing back into the wall with a pained cry. Naruto! Get up now! Naruto did, and dodged the hands a second time. He grasped the heavy blade, and when Haku attacked him once more, he swung. The hands crashed, shattering the rupee shell. In a chain reaction, the icy walls all shatter as well, showering Naruto under a cold dust. Haku floated there, still clad in her ice dragon-like armor. Naruto blushed briefly, as the ice was clear, and he could see her female parts. Concentrate on surviving, you pervert, Midna muttered. I'm not a pervert. A wave of her hand, and she formed a long dragon-like snake that flew through the air, and snatched her belt which held her items. It flew back, and she caught it, now strapping the belt around her waist. She formed more ice, forming 4 majestic-looking wings, and a segmented tail. Horns jut from around her shoulders, and curved around her head as a helmet opened from the back and around the front spilling her hair. She took to the air, wings flapping. Oh crap! Naruto yelled, dodging the senbon she generated from her ice powers. 2 clouds of white formed, before shards of ice collect, forming 2 chilfos. They were skinny ice creatures, taller than Madogai. Each chilfos summoned more ice-forming lances and threw them. Naruto ducked, but they summoned more. Naruto sprinted off, launching kunai, only for them to get deflected away. Naruto, use the heavy blade. If you had a bow, arrows, and bombs, we could have fired bomb arrows to get rid of them easily. But Haku. I noticed before this shit started. Naruto hid behind the blade as best he could, that she has this brown orb in the place where her heart once was. Like some sort of brown cocoon. Naruto soon took out the 2 enemies, only to get struck in the back by the rain of ice. Grunting and cursing, he swung the weapon, catching her off to the side and shattering off some of the ice. Naruto! Use your kunai when you clear the ice. If I'm right, that brown sphere in her chest you say you saw will destroy whatever is controlling her. What is controlling her? A Twilight parasite. The routine settled on Haku trying to surprise Naruto, by attacking from the air, attempting risky dive bombs, and summoning Chilphos to attack. However, Naruto had managed to crack the ice long enough to line a perfect shot with his kunai. The sharp black point pierces through spewing white liquid and blood, as the bug was impaled. The brown sphere shrivels up and is whisked away into dust by the wind as the bug is impaled on the nearby tree, seen by Kurenai. The bug let out some horrified shrieks before shriveling up, and exploding into ash and dust which spreads to the wind. Haku's look slowly began to return to normal, as the ice melted. She crashed onto the ice island as it crashes into the ocean, but still managed to stay intact. Her hair, her eyes, her body, all regained normal color, however her skin was clammy and a bit on the pale side. The belt slipped off and collapsed near Naruto's feet. It was done. He kneels down to the floor. Naruto, are you alright? No, I'm not. Haku, whoever did this. Midna, she was innocent. First she sacrificed her own life, and then this bug reanimates her body to try and kill me. It's not freaking alright, it hurts, Midna. Naruto. I wish there was something I could say that can help you, but please, understand that death is an everything occurrence in the world. Look, if you want to hold Haku in memory, take her belt that fell off her. Naruto stared at the belt, which he slowly pulls into his hands. He stared at the pouch, which held the girl's weapon of choice. He held the item close to his chest, closing his eyes. Naruto obtained a Kiri-styled ninja pack filled with senbon. These belong to Haku, someone who Naruto will cherish in memory. Naruto attached the pack to his own belt, before he lifted up Haku's body once he crossed the short distance. Haku was but an innocent soul, and after the defeat of the parasite that reanimated her body, he felt that she deserved a proper burial. She was innocent in all of this, Naruto whispered in a soft voice. Midna appeared next to Naruto, but as a shadow phase. Naruto. I'm here for you, okay? She gently caressed his cheek, before wiping away the tear that escaped his right eye. The two stared into one another's eyes, before she faded back into his shadow. Naruto looked down at the peaceful expression of Haku. He closed his eyes, and gently pressed his forehead to her chest. I promise, not another soul shall fall to evil's hand. Haku. I promise that I will keep your memory alive. A person as beautiful as you shouldn't have left this world so early. Please forgive me, Haku. Midna had tears in her eyes, having heard Naruto's promise. As if answering his wish, a soft wind blew through, caressing his body before the wind died down. A warm smile slowly formed over his lips, as he lifted his head high, and opened his eyes. Of course, the large icy island was out a bit away from the bridge, and he has no clue how to perform the water walk trick that Kakashi did in his first fight with Zabuza. He was trapped. Midna-chan? Yes, Naruto-kun. She wondered when Naruto started calling her by that affectionate term she read in the dictionary. Wait, when did she refer him as kun? Naruto chuckled. You could just see him do a mental equivalence of a head scratch. How do I get back to the others? Midna facepalmed. Can somebody help me here? Naruto yelled out to the bridge. Insert collective sweat drop from villagers and ninja team. Naruto stood in front of the two graves. It was to honor Haku and Zabuza, two lives who were working for an evil man, but in the end, were innocent souls that were lost in the game called life. Naruto. Kakashi looked at his blonde student wearing the green tunic outfit. Everyone else was behind the two, as Naruto stared at the two graves. This is what the ninja life is supposed to be, you know. I know, besides. I'm supposed to have courage to face the unknown, but it just doesn't make it right. Haku, she was an innocent soul, she barely had time to fully experience life. Kakashi nodded softly. Yes, Haku was too young to die, but life was just like that. You never know when your last day would come. Are you going to place Zabuza's sword as the marker? No. For some reason, I believe he would want a strong warrior to carry his weapon. Are you sure, Naruto? Naruto nodded. Yes, and if I get a sign that tells me I should accept the weapon and treasure it, then let it happen. Poot! A bird cawed as it flew by, having just taken a dump mid-flight on Sasuke's head. Naruto blinked. I'll accept that. Sasuke snarled, while Sakura was growling at the bird that now landed on a branch, to preen itself. Sasuke chased after the bird with a kunai, his Sharingan blazing. Naruto obtained Momochi Zabuza's Kubikiri Hocho. This large heavy blade class weapon is hard to swing, however it can easily shatter hard objects with ease. Just don't drop it on your foot. I'll be back. I just need some time alone, okay? Kakashi nodded, placing a comforting hand on the boy's shoulder. Don't take too long, we'll be leaving soon. Naruto nodded, as he soon stood there by himself. He gave the 2 short prayers of peace, before he turned around. Standing in his path was Zabuza. He blinked, but this Zabuza had suddenly come charging at him, then a field of white blanketed his vision. Where am I? You're at Kiri. Naruto turned around. There was Zabuza. You're not dreaming. Yes, it's me, kid. Besides, I can see how experienced you'll be. What do you mean? Naruto questioned. Zabuza chuckles softly. When I was little, I once read this ancient book about a warrior in green who will arrive. So, I think that my spirit would wish to depart with this skill that made me who I was. Naruto blinked, as he caught the katana tossed to him. Now kid, I'm going to teach you how to use my special skill. The Gokamonkan, Jail Gate Sword. Jail Gate Sword. It's a defensive kenjutsu technique, one that can lay surprise to your enemies if they're overzealous in their skills. They will never expect their attack to be parried, until they feel the pain when you counter with the back slice movement. He then showed how to do it. Naruto understood, as Zabuza prepared himself. With the weapon, Naruto waited, until the man charged. Naruto blocked the attack, sprung forth, and struck with the back slice. Naruto! Naruto, wake up! Naruto groaned, as he slowly pushed himself up off the ground. Day had turned to night suddenly, and he was surrounded by teams 7 and 8. It was Kakashi who was trying to rouse the boy awake. Wah! A dream? Naruto, are you okay? I think so. All of a sudden I was attacked, and then I found myself surrounded by a haze of white, and there was this land of trees, snow falling from the sky, and I was standing next to the gate with the symbol of Kiri on it. Then I saw Zabuza standing next to me, or, I think it was his spirit. No one knew what to say. Naruto however knew all of that he experienced was all real. Hero's shade, as Midna calls it. There was also what his spirit had told him, keep the weapon. The mission was over, and they now had to return to Konoha. The village bid them farewell, as the bridge was christened under Naruto's name. The Great Naruto Bridge. Now, there was the object that was Zabuza's weapon, which was heavy. And Kakashi told Naruto Ti would be good weight training, to catch up while running. Yes, Kakashi can be a bit sadistic. Chapter 5. And that's what happened. Kakashi finished his explanation. The genin were dismissed, and Naruto had run off carrying his weapon, after of course he reclaimed the broken blade he sealed away to seal Zabuza's weapon. Sarutobi had listened to the whole tale, finding that Naruto's change the most was unsettling. Of course, unsettling because the boy seemed to be changing a lot more now that Naruto no longer held the Kyuubi within him, not after it was ripped right from his body from the unknown man. Well, Naruto's new clothing wardrobe. I find it acceptable, since from what I had heard, orange was all those damn shopkeepers would sell to the boy, or just outright throw at him. Kakashi nodded a bit, having heard that one of a few other shopkeepers would give the orange clothes to Naruto just in the chances of him getting killed. Orange was a bright color after all, and a large very noticeable target if in enemy territory. So tell me, what about this broken sword blade Naruto found in this hidden grove outside of the village? It's weird, it's as if Naruto was following some sort of invisible voice, and then we watched him stand in front of this pedestal, and despite drawing blood, yanked out a broken blade piece. He seemed to have found its other part, which was carried by a young boy Naruto befriended in the end of the mission named Inari. They still never knew of Naruto's new tenant. When Sarutobi asks to describe the blade's broken status, he was surprised that its style was a double-edged blade. The only double edge he knew of was the weapon that Orochimaru wielded. So, Naruto has a sword of one of the legendary Kirinins, and this broken sword. Well, there is only one person in the village that I know could fix a broken sword such as the one you described. Sarutobi however had enough thought that didn't need to be shared. Old man. I need your help. Tenku walked out the back, only to have 2 broken pieces of a sword handed to him. Can you repair this blade? You see, this is a very important blade, and I do not want any damage done to it while being repaired, please? I'll pay you for your work. Tenku placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder, setting the 2 items down. It's okay Naruto, for a reason I am inclined to believe you, though, you do look better wearing your new outfit, a tunic. Yeah, well, I thought it was time to not wear the orange, though I do like the color. Besides, do these clothes make me look like a hero? Midna grinned within Naruto's mind. Of course, Naruto, he replies, smiling a bit. Oh yes, I also finished your first project you asked of me to do for you. I sent Tenten to your place, since I had asked the Hokage for your address, but you were apparently on a mission. Yeah, we actually got back today. It took us 3 days to get back, not after I had acquired a rare weapon. Tenku headed to the back, before he re-emerged up front by the cash register. Midna formed beside him, but as a shadow. She was amazed at how closely it resembled the fused shadow piece she wore when she escaped the Twilight after Zant forcibly taken control of the throne centuries ago. Of course, it appeared to have a more modern appearance. Yes, I used the lightweight metal, and melted it into a more malleable form, so I can craft it to the design dimensions you wanted it as. Yes, Midna was impressed. The eyepiece I crafted it with the one-sided glass mostly used with the Oinin masks. I also styled the impression after our very own Konoha symbol. He hands it to Naruto, who smiled. Naruto obtains Midna's headgear. This is a modernized replica of the fused shadow helmet Midna worn centuries ago during Zant's tyranny. Oh yeah, I built a hidden feature with the horns. You can take them apart from the main headgear, and connect it into a boomerang, which you can throw at your enemies, or use it as a whacking device against thugs if your friend is not a shinobi or kunoichi. Naruto nodded. He took out his new wallet, but Tenku held his hand up. No Naruto, this time there's no payment. Besides, I have a feeling this is for a personal friend, a female friend. The old man held a slight perverted grin, and Naruto blushed, hearing Midna's giggles within his head. He took it anyway, and headed out of the shop. Tenku's laughs heard. He stopped of course and wondered what kind of girl Naruto landed around his arms. Looking at the broken sword, he could tell that this has a great importance to it, so he worked on crafting the weapon back to its originality. It can't be that hard in repairing a broken double-edged blade like this. He also would have to construct a sheath for the sword as well. You need to work on wielding a heavy weapon, Naruto, Midna tells the blonde. Taking notice on several people took a double look at Naruto's tunic outfit. I know, but where? Suddenly he's tackled to the ground. It was Konohamaru. Konohamaru was the grandson of the Sandaime who Naruto met once the Genin teams had finally been allowed to form after Naruto's recovery from his little incident with the masked man, whom Midna now swears is another Shadow Lord Zant, whoever that Zant person is. Despite Midna bashing him over the head once he returned to his apartment later that day, Naruto taught Konohamaru his original jutsu of Oroku. Let's just say, Ebisu was knocked out with a heavy blood loss after the two transformed girls seductively held one another by Naruto's lead. It was from that moment on Konohamaru became Naruto's friend, and by off chance, friends with his two friends Moegi and Udon. Together, the three were the Konohamaru Corp. Hey boss. I like your new threads. But why are you wearing a skirt? Naruto got up, gently pushing Konohamaru off him. It's a tunic. I bought this in Nami during my first mission outside the village. How much did it cost? Moegi asks Naruto. 3,000 ryo. The shopkeeper was poor, so I paid 5,000 just for the guy to provide for his family. The three were in awe. Wow, that was so generous of you. Naruto smiled foxily. Still his old trait. Growing up as an orphan, I always saved up on my money. So, what are you three up to? There you are. Naruto knew that angry voice and he now stared at Konohamaru, who looked a bit pale. You did not. I did. Sakura can now be seen running to them. Konohamaru had insulted that she could never be a real ninja if she always just worried about how she looked. Of course, he also insulted that because of her giant forehead she was stupider than female blondes. Run! The four were now being chased by a pissed-off fangirl. I told you to never insult fangirls. The three kids were beating him in the foot race, and Naruto, by proxy, was seen in the fangirl's rage as part of the group, henceforth him running for his life as well. Around the corner, Konohamaru runs smack into a teenager. The ninja wore a black jumpsuit and had on purple face paint, and wrapped in bandages was some sort of bulky object. And behind the male teenager was a kunoichi with her blonde hair in 4 pigtails and a large fan strapped to her back, currently folded. Hey you punk! Konohamaru yelped as she was lifted off the ground. Hey! What do you think you're doing? Let me go. Before the teenager could make a reply, or the blonde next to him say anything, a poof of smoke, and Naruto was now holding the Hitsukaridakari no Tsurugi, though he had it stabbed into the ground. Let him go, or else you wish to incite war for harming the grandson of the Sandaime Hokage of Konohagakure. Konohamaru was dropped onto his rear, and he rushed to hide behind Naruto and his impressive sword. The blonde next to the man in black swats the teen upside the head. Kankuro, you jackass. You almost started a war with your pig-headed brawn. I'm not pig-headed, Temari. The teenager now identified as Kankuro yelled. No, you look like Catman, Naruto snickered. Kankuro hissed. Shut up you, Kankuro. Knock it off. I'm sorry for my brother's rash idiotic actions. I'm Sabaka no Temari from Suna. Ah, Uzumaki Naruto. Say, is that really the Kubikiri Hocho of Momochi Zabuza? She asked, her voice lit with surprise. Naruto nodded. He died, and he allowed me to take it. Kankuro raised an eyebrow. Even he had to be impressed. No one can just claim one of the swords of the legendary Kiri swordsman, unless you were a thief. Because Naruto was honorable enough to take the sword in Zabuza's place, Naruto had unofficially become a Kiri swordsman. So, by the look of your Hitaiate. What are you doing here? Sakura finally found her voice. Oh, the foursome had forgotten about the no longer angry fangirl. Even as Konoha and Suna are allies, you can't be here unless you're on a mission or have papers allowing entry. Temari was put off by this girl's attitude. She figured this girl was a fangirl. Looking at Naruto, and seeing how his face was scrunched up in a way that showed he too did not like fangirls, she felt sorry for him. Well, if your hot friend here was going to ask what I think he was going to ask, Sakura stared, thinking that Naruto couldn't be hot, even if he was no longer wearing orange. Kankuro stared at Naruto, growling a bit, and Naruto gained a bit of a blush around the cheeks. Yes, we are from Sunagakure, and we're here for the Chunin exams. Oh, really? We were not informed by our sensei yet, Naruto said. Temari frowned. That's too bad. I hope you will be there, Naruto-kun, she now says with a sweet smile, causing the Konohamaru Corporation to snicker. They heard someone fall out of a tree. It was Uchiha Sasuke. Konohamaru started laughing, but calmed when another person dropped down from the same tree, which was the cause for Sasuke's sudden fall from the tree. And you are? The redhead looked at Naruto. He had a giant gourd strapped to his back, and he had the kanji for love tattooed on his forehead. I am Sabaka no Gaara. If you are entered into the Chunin exams, I look forward to our next encounter. Temari and Kankuro paled a bit. If Gaara was now interested in Naruto, he would soon end up dead, whether or not he enters the Chunin exams. Sasuke, despite his slight mishap, and utter embarrassment of not even noticing a foreign ninja behind him until it was too late, shot to his feet. Who are you three? They ignore him as they disappeared. Sasuke growled, and walked off, causing Sakura to follow him as usual, leaving behind the 3 academy kids and 1 young teenager. Well, you seem to have made yet another friend, Midna said. Did Naruto imagine it, or did Midna just held a hint of jealousy in her voice? He was minding his own business, 2 days from the encounter with the Sabaku siblings that he was tackled from behind. The one who pinned him was Tenten. Looking good Naruto, so much better than all that tacky orange you wore previously. Naruto blushed, realizing that she was trying to get a feel of his chest. Midna kept on staring, having appeared as a shadow. So, what is this about a rumor of you holding the Kubikiri Hocho? If there was one thing about Tenten, Naruto definitely knew she had a slight fetish for all things sharp and pointy. Well, it's in the scroll I keep attached to my left hip. Tenten saw said object, and took it off, unsealing it. When the smoke cleared, there was the fabled sword. Tenten seemed to drool, as she stared at the weapon, feeling the cool metal. Oh my, it's the real thing. You're drooling. She didn't hear him. She is probably getting an orgasm from all the excitement. Naruto got a bit of a nosebleed, and his cheeks flared a light pinkish red. Tenten was too busy fawning over the giant Zanbato to notice Naruto. Midna grinned, snickering at Naruto and his claims of not being a pervert, though right now he was displaying perverted tendencies. Excuse me Tenten, but oh, sorry, she said, blushing. It's alright, but, you think you can help me so I can wield this weapon more effectively? Tenten blinked, and then she smiled. Of course, Naruto-kun. Because of the height, Naruto couldn't wear it on his back, however she did teach him how to use chakra to act as a magnet for the weapon, so it would stick to his back, but just sideways instead of a slant over the shoulder. When asked she grinned and said to get used to the weight. It acted as the perfect weight counter, so Naruto's movements were very sluggish. In the 1 week of this, he had gotten stronger, and Midna watched the progress over the week. Link wasn't strong enough at first when he obtained the ball and chain weapon from the Dark Hammer that attacked them at the Snow Peak ruins, but as he gotten used to the heavy weapon his strength improved that he could to an effect swing the weapon and launch it. It helped when Yetta was possessed by one of the Twilight mirror shards, and they had to knock her out to dissolve the mirror's possessive hold on the poor girl. Of course over the week, Naruto had reclaimed the Master Sword, only for it to be taken by this priestess who had appeared in the village 2 weeks ago, resting before she would continue on her wandering journey. Today was when he would reclaim the sword back from the 18-year-old priestess who went by the name Kururi. Midna had a strange feeling about this Kururi girl. There also was the fact that the girl's ears were at a bit of a point, but what was passed off as some sort of harmless birth defect, she had a reason to believe that she was some sort of solid spirit that remained clung to the planet. She couldn't prove her theory, so she had stayed silent. The sword was repaired, but it looked like any other sword. It had no power in it, none of its mystifying energies that had also been infused within the blade itself. When Naruto arrived to the secluded grove, which was also recognized as his own hidden area from the village in the past, there was a block of stone where the sword was stabbed into it. Around it was a shrine of runes painted into the ground with black ink paint. There were also several round stones at the 4 directional points, and smaller stones at the diagonal directional points. The young lady, Kururi, wore pink and white clothing, depicting her as a priestess. Her dark pink hair was done in twin ponytails that cascade down her sides, the rest of her hair let down in silky curtains. Her eyes were a beautiful cerulean, with a sweet smile. The vest was pink, and the undershirt was the white robes, which from below was cut and sewn into a stylized skirt overlapped with pink fishnet fabric. The sleeves of the outfit reached to her elbows, which had attached crimson ribbon tassels. On her arms past the elbows, she wore pink arm warmers, and pink socks and leg warmers on her legs. Said socks went to her thighs. All in all, she was a beautiful young lady. Ah, there you are Naruto. So, what is all of this? When you told me that you had found this weapon 4 days ago, I spent all this time preparing the ritual site. He blinked twice. You see, not only am I a priestess, but I also have the power to enchant weapons, so to speak. This weapon of yours, I have very brief detailings of it. This is supposed to be a legendary weapon of unknown origins. I don't know how you obtained it, but the fact of the matter is that you are destined to wield the sword. Naruto nodded a bit. As Midna suggested, he switched out his black clothing under the tunic for white. Of course, they were specifically made clothes for a bit of armor protection. He also got some better gloves, and leather items such as boots, arm guards, leg guards. He also had the sheath fo the sword strapped to his back with a snap belt. On his belt around the waist, the left hip was a scroll which held the heavy blade. On the right hip was his kunai pack, next to it going back was the senbon pack, and next to that was a pack filled with specially made ninja bombs, a new creation that Tenka created as an off-project. Many people still use explosive tags, but the creation of civilian bombs made for ninja affairs still hasn't caught on yet. He called them ninams. The sun had set when the ritual had ended, allowing Naruto to finally draw the blade again. This time, he could feel the thrum of power coursing through it. When he and Midna turned to face Kururi, she had vanished. Naruto obtains the Master Sword. This is a sword of legendary feat, wielded by the ancestors who faced off against evil. Its power was somehow restored by the mystical powers of Kururi the priestess. Naruto ignored the looks he got from those he passed. His 2 teammates Sasuke and Sakura were also very intrigued at the difference in Naruto. Before they had learned of Naruto's cursed fate, he was annoying, a prankster, which has lessened somewhat, but he still does them from time to time with the Sandame's grandson, and had always tried asking Sakura out on dates, but now, after that attack, Naruto had changed, and seemed to be getting stronger much to Sasuke's annoyance. Even if Naruto no longer held the Kyuubi no Yuko within him, since he is a former Jinchuriki, Naruto's increasing strengths made Sasuke fight to become better than the new and improved Naruto. Not to mention try and claim that weird sword the blonde now carries on his back like some sort of wannabe hero. As they entered the academy on the day of the Chunin exams, already there was commotion when they reached the top of the stairs. I may not be a ninja, but I had gotten enough to notice differences in the environment, Midna said. Just walk past them because there's some sort of illusion set up here. Hey, drop the genjutsu, said Sasuke with his arrogant voice. Naruto and Midna scowled. Because of the Uchiha, those who would have failed the exams have gotten free reign into the exams. Idiot boy, Midna growled. What makes you say we're up to something? Because Sakura detected your genjutsu the moment we entered, right? Sakura looked confused but quickly schooled her features into a believable lie. That's right, it's pathetic. The sign shifted to the second floor room, which was also the Academy's gym arena. Now she's just plain lying, Naruto muttered. Well, you're probably the only one with the power in this group, Midna told Naruto, though. Yes, I know Midna-chan. That Kururi person, she knew what the sword was, stole it from us, and then promised to give it back, and she did after she had infused power back into the weapon. Midna nodded, as she and Naruto ignored the events that occurred. Something just bugs me about that Kururi girl. If we ever see her again, we should be more cautious, Naruto-kun. Naruto gave a mental nod, before he was grasped around the left arm by Tenten. Hey Naruto-kun. Now Naruto heard Midna scowl at Tenten. Hi Tenten-chan. So, you going or not? Your two teammates entered the gym. No. Why? Sasuke challenged my teammate Lee to a taijutsu match. Oh, Lee-kun. Naruto blinked twice. Now I know Lee will win, we should just wait for them upstairs, Tenten smiled. That sounds good. The two then headed off to the right location, with the prick Niji following behind the two. Now, Sasuke got his ass handed to him in a minute, and then the two were scarred for life by the sunset genjutsu that appeared when the two carbon copies had performed their manly hug after the end of the match, and Guy punishing Lee for attempting to us his special move, loudly calling out one another's names, horrifying. There were various other genin in the room when Teams 7 and 9 had entered. Team 10 was there, as Naruto had gone over to Hinata and bid her a greeting. Hinata got a glare sent to him by Niji, but Naruto never noticed as he was talking to the incarnation of Zelda. Man Naruto, Kiba spoke up, you look a bit better without all that damn orange on you. Naruto smirked. I also managed to get myself several more pairs of my tunic stored away. I'm getting used to the outfit. He also unstrapped the sword and now held it in his hand, noticing a few looks he got from various other foreign genin and Tenten of course due to her love for swords. Naruto-kun. Hinata was shoved aside, as the Suna ninja, Temari, clung herself to Naruto's arm, surprising the rest of the Rookie 9 and Team 9, Team Guy. Hinata and Tenten both glared with heat towards the Sunanin. Hey Temari-chan, he said hesitantly. He noticed the dark glare from Kankuro. Gaara couldn't care less, though he was interested in fighting Naruto. So, you finally made it, huh? I bet it's just because of you, and your two teammates are just following you. Now Sasuke growled, and Sakura glared, as she did not like being called weak. She may not like Naruto much, but the boy was changing her views. However, some things will remain the same, such as her fangirlism for Sasuke. Keep it down, will you? All turned to see a silver-haired genin with glasses walk in with two other guys. And you are? Yakushi Kabuto. I can see that for you Leaf Nines, it's your first time. As you can tell, this is the Chunin exams, and genin teams from various villages all around the elemental countries have arrived, since our village has been chosen to host it. I'll talk to you later Naruto-kun, Temari whispered into Naruto's ear, causing him to break into a blush when she kissed his cheek, and sat back down next to a scowling and protective Kankuro. He quickly picked up the sword that slipped from his hand, and helped the weapon close. Tenten, Hinata, and by proxy, Midna, were now angry that this girl made a move on Naruto. Kiba was snickering at the surprised red-faced Naruto, as Shikamaru sighed, muttering his trademarked catchphrase. And Shino took a step away from Hinata since his bugs detected small flows of killing intent filtering from the sometimes shy Hyuga heiress. Kabuto chuckled softly. Well, that was amusing. Naruto glared, trying to rid the blush away. Temari smirked from her seat. Is this your first time as well? Sakura questioned the glasses-wearing genin. Nope, 7th. That must suck. Well, this exam is hard. I have no doubt that not many of you first-timers would make it as well. This is a very studious exam you're in, and there's no room for weak-hearted ninja. Anyway, in my time being in the exams, I have gathered enough data which I write down in what I call ninfo cards. No one laughed at his poor attempt of a joke. Anyway, as you may have noticed, genin are from every single village known. They are the creme a la creme. The best of their village. Okay, so, how does your ninfo cards work? Naruto asks, handing his sword to Tenten to hold. Well, I have placed what little seal work I know into these cards so that only my chakra can reveal the information I have written on them. A bit of chakra flare and he shows a mini-map of the elemental countries. He puts that away, and holds the rest of his deck. So, you have information on just about anybody? Sasuke asks. Yes, I do. Rock Lee, Sabaka no Gaara, and Uzumaki Naruto. Oh, joy, you know their names. He takes out the 3 cards and flares his chakra, revealing the printed information. Rock Lee, his accomplishments so far are 24 D-rank missions, 14 C-rank, and 1 A-rank. His taijutsu has improved this year, and he has gained attention as a talented genin but didn't partake in the exam last year, so this will be his first time just like all of you. However, compared to last year his taijutsu skills are almost off the charts, while his genjutsu and his ninjutsu are below average. His teammates are Hyuga Niji and Higurashi Tenten. Sasuke glared at the energetic Lee, still embarrassed that his Sharingan had a weakness which the boy with fuzzy eyebrows pointed out while literally kicking his ass in a minute. Sabaka no Gaara is from Suna, so I know not much. He however has accomplished all of his missions with no injuries whatsoever. All I know of his teammates are that they are his brother and sister. And Uzumaki Naruto, he is a genin and this is his first time in the exams as well. His taijutsu are at best average, as is his ninjutsu with his clever ways. His genjutsu is non-existent yet he can detect them easily if he focuses. Naruto had to agree with that. Naruto was what many call a Jinchuriki. Everyone's heads had all turned towards the blonde genin. However, on the day of the team placements Naruto was attacked by an unknown enemy, who had made quick work of him, up to nearly killing him before forcibly ripping out the Kyubi no Yuko from his battered and heavily injured body. The man is still out there, and still has the Kyubi sealed away. However, since the forced extraction, Naruto has begun improving a lot, up to the point of becoming the next Kiri swordsman after Momochi Zabuza, since he now wields the Kubikiri Hocho. What? Bull fucking shit. They heard the outcry from the Kiri Genin team. Yeah, like you have the Kubikiri Hocho. The teammate yelled, Kai leaking forth. Naruto simply took off the scroll hanging off his left hip, and unsealed it with a poof of smoke. Once it cleared, thanks to Tenten's training, he could now to an extent lift the heavy weapon with slight ease. He revealed the fabled sword of Zabuza, now putting proof in the fact that he does own the weapon. Well, you can lift the weapon, that's impressive. Tamari adds her 2 cents with a grin. Zabuza came to me in a dream I had, if passing out and seeing Kiri's gates in a slight foggy atmosphere counts as one, and told me that I can carry forth his weapon as my own. The 3 genin charged him, yelling for his death, but Naruto had swung the weapon, causing everyone to jump out of the way as the 3 ninja were sent flying to the ground, cuts across their chest. He stabs the sword into the wooden floor and unsheaths the master sword, and held it up as one genin struck him with a kunai. He had effectively countered, and now he was holding his side, crying out in pain from the cut that Naruto released with the counter of the back slice technique. Ibiki rushed into the room, kunai held as Naruto leapt back. Other various ninja had also filled the room, weapons drawn. What the fuck is going on here? He yelled. The genin from Kiri are pissed that I now carry Momochi Zabuza's Kubikiri Hocho upon the man's death wish, and attempt to kill me for it. Naruto noticed the look he got from Ibiki as he walked over to the heavy sword, and sealed it again before attaching the scroll to his hip. Well, you 3 shits go to the hospital to get those wounds treated, and then get out of the village. You're out of the exams. That's bullshit. Ibiki growls. Then you shouldn't have attacked first. I saw it all. Get out of here before you bleed all over my classroom. The 3 ninja sent Naruto hated looks, and left the classroom, shoving past the team from Oto. Mendokus, Naruto mutters. That's my catchphrase, get your own, Shikamaru mutters. Naruto was handed the master sword's sheath, and he gently places it back in its case. Now then, with 1 team out already, this will be much harder for you. Any more attacks, and I'll kick your asses out, got it? My name is Marino Ibiki, and I am the first proctor of the Chunin exams. Sit down you maggots intermingled with your peers. I don't want to see any of you sitting next to any of your teammates. This exam shall be a written course. He smiled sinisterly. In the next 5 minutes, the only sounds was of scratching pencils, the slight buzz of a fly, and soft barks coming from Akamaru. In fact, the test was a written, except if anyone was caught cheating 5 times you are out of the Chunin exams. The true exam was to gather information without anyone seeing you. Which meant you're supposed to cheat. Everyone stopped when music started up, and turned to Naruto. He had his ninpod out, and was playing random songs. The song was Let It Rock. The sounds was silenced when Naruto put on earphones and stuck them in his ears, and returned to his test. Ibiki watched the blonde wearing the odd green tunic outfit, but returned to gazing out at the other ninja, while several teams had been kicked out for being caught 5 times. What is this music? Midna asks Naruto. My kind of music. Before I would never listen to the radio, but after that Twilight character had ripped the fox out of my body a month ago, well, you've seen how much I've changed, Midna-chan. Oh, I see, this is weird music, and so are the lyrics. Well, it's probably much different from the music you've listened to or have heard. True. I know for a fact that there was no music quite like this centuries ago. In fact, the only music I have heard are parade music, or that music form the ragtag band that plays every day for entertainment in Hyrule Castle's town. At the end of the hour-long test, a total of 8 teams were knocked out of the exams, not counting Kiri beforehand. Naruto turned the volume down on his Nin pod, as Ibiki explained the 10th question. Naruto had answered the best he could, but other than that, just sat there listening to his Nin pod. He then told that if anyone who felt that they cannot go on, due to the ruling that if you failed the 10th question, you can never become Chunin, a few more stragglers left. Sakura was about to quit, but she saw Sasuke glare at her. She didn't want to seem weak, so she kept her hand down. Well, anyone else? No one said anything, and Naruto simply yawned. Ibiki took a second look at the blonde. Where did he get that thread and needle from? Naruto had taken off the plate of his Hitai-8, and was sewing it onto this green, hat-like item he had taken out. Well, those who are still here, you pass. Naruto took off his earphones, and put away his Nin pod after switching it off. Did you say something? Sweat drops. Ibiki was reminded of Kakashi all of a sudden. Didn't you hear what the hell I just said, Uzumaki? Ibiki yelled. Nope, too busy sewing. Snickers from the guys was heard, while the female audience all glared at the guys but Sakura and Ino because, well, sewing isn't just for girls of course. Have to thank Hinata for showing me how to needle sew, Naruto thought. He finished with his little project, and the window crashed as Anko leapt into view, a banner loudly and colorfully proclaiming the sadistic jounin. Naruto had just placed the green hat on his head, and made sure it was a perfect fit. The hat was a replica of Link's, and Midna could now see Link in Naruto, just that Naruto had attached the silver plate with Konoha's icon on the front of the green hat. Anko! Ibiki yelled, you jumped the gun. That's it for part 1. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.